Can you hear me? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, hi. But I can't hear the lectern. Can you hear the lectern?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think the lectern audio is on mute because it shows Greg's computer on mute or one of the
Okay.
computers on mute.
Thank you.
And the lectern is not showing any audio connection.
All right, I just sent the chat. Hello, lectern. How you doing, Shana? Is it Shanath?
Yeah, this is Sham. Yeah, Sham Nath.
Oh, Sham. How you doing, Sham?
Good.
This is Abe.
Hi.
So, okay, this is not good. Are we the only ones on? There's got to be more people on from Zoom. I wonder if we're on the wrong channel or something.
No, well, we can see the live feed.
I know.
Can you call any one of them? I'm trying to text two people who are supposed to be in the room.
Oh, I could text.
Greg is responding to your text. Do you have his cell phone or something?
Hold on, I probably do. They're still clapping. Oh. So it's Greg. Let's see. Do I have Greg? What's his last name again?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on. Let me mute recording, view options. 50. No, I don't want that.
And basically it's 2 pumps per second. So it's hard and it's fast. 2 pumps
I can hear now.
that you do. So just saying, hopefully we'll never need that info again, but helpful to know. And with that, let's get started. We always like to recognize people. So again, we have 3 goals for the district: fun, growth, recognition. Let's do a little bit with the recognition. So we know that we've had several new clubs this year. And our new clubs, and hopefully we can get to our next slide, Mr. Oh, and I'm the person who has control today. That's scary. Okay, Kevin. Maybe we'll help it. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Okay, here we go. Thank you. So we've recognized our new club so far this year, and we have another new club to recognize, and that is Oracle Pleasant Speakers. Of course, the club name only tells you a little bit. We need to know the people behind it. So I'm going to be mentioning the sponsors, the mentors, and then we have several of the other people that were involved in the start and kickoff meetings. And we know that in order to charter a new club, it takes a team. So first of all, we'd like to recognize and bring up the club president, Rajesh Dio, So Greg, I understand the Zoom folks can't hear. So if you can.
No, we can hear now.
Yeah, we can hear. This is Sham.
I can hear Sean.
I can hear Sean from far, far away.
All right, terrific.
Far, far away.
Recognize Bill, Ashley, and Ashley Harkness, and Bill Holsley, and Lisa. Come on. So this is the team that helped with the new club, and they're very excited to have it, and they're very proud of the new club. So one more round of applause. And Sean is connected via Zoom. And he couldn't make it today, but hello, Sean, and thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Sham.
Your heads are cut off.
And the mentors and the sponsors will be receiving gifts from the TI store that they pick up, and we'll order them, a combined order, and then get it to them. Next, we have something I think very exciting. We have our very first, you know that throughout this year, we recognize first. We recognize the area directors that turned in their area reports first. We recognize first people who did this, first people who did that. So we have our first recognition in this category this year, and that is our first distinguished district. So that is pretty exciting. Division. Division. Then it's not only distinguished, these ladies went over and above, and they are actually select distinguished. Welcome our Division D Director, Brenda Carroll Walker. And let's get a picture too with Kevin and these folks. The coffee mug goes to Brenda, and they're getting some swag as well. So someone will capture the picture. That would be great.
Now we're gonna do a clowny one. The clowny one. Wait. Clowny one. Can we get one for fun? Can we get one? You gotta do it. We need some
yay!
so
A yay factor.
let's do it.
And
Now, I have to say to the audience just one thing. What I do want to say
Brenda,
is
you got
that.
it.
Is the mic?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Fellow Toastmasters, and any guests that may be here. I want to say that I am very humbled in being able to say that we're the first division. I totally recognize the great team that I have. These ladies, I have to tell you, these ladies have stepped up. They have done what they needed to do and gone above. And let me just say this about having a team. Sometimes we leaders, people who are in leadership roles, we tend to want to hold on and direct and just leave everything. And what I've learned is to let go. This year, I've had to, for my own personal reasons, let go. But it's hard to let go, and when you're in a role and you want to get things done and you can't. But this year, I've learned to let go and let my team do what they are very capable of doing. And as a result, yes, I've done my leadership role as best I can and given information, but these ladies have really done all the work. So I thank you. I thank you so much for your help, for all your efforts, and I thank Toastmasters. Thank you.
You will see that Adrian, I believe 4 out of her 5 clubs are distinguished. Yes. And Cynthia, 3 out of her 5 are distinguished. What's interesting there, they're not just distinguished, 1 is select and 2 are president distinguished already. So that is impressive, and thanks to them as well. And Robin and Winnie each have distinguished clubs in there as well. So looking forward, we would love to be able to do more recognition just like this. So now we get where the numbers start to come into play. And with dues renewal due, we got our numbers, and at first they looked a little candidly daunting. But then we started looking at them more closely, and I believe we can do it, and by that I mean get to be a distinguished district. So currently, we need 10 more clubs. Now, before you go aha and go into cardiac arrest like I almost did when I saw that, when we look at it further, we see that 5 of those clubs have 7 members. So if those 5 clubs can get 1 more member, then it counts as an active club. And we have 4 clubs that have 6 members. So again, we have a couple of clubs that just need a few more members, thus the open house and things like that. We have a number of new clubs in process, and Michael's going to be talking about that. If we can get a few of those to become clubs and charter this year by June 30th, that's what we're looking at. It's doable, it's possible. The good thing with chartering and probably recognizing George and Hannah over there with the chartering of the Remax Accord. They went in, they did it, they chartered, they elected, they came up with the name Bingo Bango.
Cherry.
And Sherry, she's not here, but she was the driving force behind that. So talk to those folks about doing that. And then we just need slightly under 500 new members. So again, somewhat of a deep breath there, but in talking to our past district governor, Todd Henry, Todd said that when he was in this position, that the district brought in 800 new members the second half, new member payments. So it's doable. So we're going to be watching that dashboard a little bit more, and we know that ultimately we want our members to have that wonderful experience that we all know and share, and that's really what it is. And hopefully the numbers are a result of that. With that, I would like to turn it over to Jenny Liu, who will do the admin report, the minutes, and great things like that. Jenny.
Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes. I apologize, they were sent in yesterday. There were 2 sets. One for DECM, last DECM on March 16th, and one for the district council meeting at the conference on May 11th. If you've had a chance to look at it, raise your hand. We don't have this authority, so how about this? What we can do is during the break, if you can, have a chance to look at it. There are copies on the tables for each division, and then let me know if there are any edits. We will try to iterate that, and we need to send the minutes out by the 26th of April, 2 weeks before. So let's try to get that beforehand so more of the district council can read that. In the end, we will table that, but at least for the March DECM minutes, did anyone get a chance? Those were sent a lot earlier, right after DECM. All right, so at least let's, can someone move to approve the last DECM minutes, which we sent right after those?
I so move.
Okay, anyone second? Thank you, Lisa. And any discussion? None? If there are, just let me know, I'll make the edits. Otherwise, let's just call for a vote, majority with voice vote, or again. Vote once. Vote twice. It looks like we have majority. All right, so approved for the DECM minutes, and we'll table the district council minutes. I will now hand it over to Kevin Markle, our program quality director.
Who's registered for the conference?
All right.
Who isn't registered for the conference? All right. The reason I asked that, we sold 224 of the 300 possible seats. We plan to sell out. Who isn't coming to the Friday dinner? All right. We sold 55 of 80 tickets.
Wow.
If you want to go to the dinner, you want to actually ask the world champion of public speaking any question you want. Come to the dinner, don't wait to sign up, don't wait to get registered, all right? I also wanted to take a quick moment for recognition. We recognized our first distinguished division. I'd like to recognize our first distinguished area. G31, Dave Bloom. Which isn't to say there aren't other areas who are going to be distinguished soon. There are plenty of areas who already have the clubs they need to be distinguished. What are they missing?
Members.
Well, we certainly want more members. What else are they missing? All right, let's go look at the dashboard. Let's go find out what we're missing. Who looked at the video that I recorded? All right, was that helpful? Yes. Super. All right, let's take a look. We recognize, let's take a look here. C9. They can be distinguished, but they're not. What are they missing? Visits. You can't be distinguished as an area director until you get 75% or more of your club visits in. All right? Who scheduled their next club visit already? All right? Contests are behind us. It's time to get the visits in. All right? You want to be recognized as a distinguished area, you got to get those visits in. All right. Now, for those who didn't take a look at the dashboard, I want to do a quick run through. And I know Jane has sent a fantastic email to all of our area directors because she dug into the numbers. All right. And the numbers tell a great story. The numbers tell a great story. So I'm just going to pick random. All right. Let's go land right here. Okay. I'm looking at F16. Where's that? Is that Yukon's? No man's land. That's okay, so I won't offend anybody. I won't offend anybody. So let's take a look at the numbers here. All right. We kind of want to look at two things. We want to look at membership payments and we want to look at DCP points. All right. If you don't have enough members, you can't be distinguished. If you don't have your points, you can't be distinguished. Danville, they got 7 points.
Yeah.
Awesome, right? One more member, go there. All right. EBF Tradesmasters, 4 points. They're right there. But need a couple more members. How many members do they need? 5. They need to hit 20. All right. Well, they have a base of 16. They need to add 5 or be have more than 20. All right, but right now they have to have 5 members. Power speakers. What's going on here? They have enough members, don't they?
They do, right.
What about their DCP points? 1 more. Where do you think they're going to get 1 more DCP point?
Another P1.
Another P1. If they get 1 more level 1, that's that 5th point. They're distinguished. All right.
And I had new members to get that level 1.
And I mean, look, they've had 12 new members this year already. It's within their grasp. I've looked through all the dashboard. I've done the analysis. I think every area director, I think every division has the opportunity to be distinguished or higher. You need to look at your numbers to understand where you need members, where you need 1 or 2 DCP points, and maybe where you need both. All right, work with your clubs, come up with a plan to get them. Do it now. Don't wait until the middle of June. All right, because I guarantee in the middle of June, we're going to be calling and emailing you and asking what's going on. Where's that last DCP point? All right, so put the plan together now. Just like we ask people to do a club success plan, you need to follow through with your area and your division success plan. All right. I hope that was helpful. Watch the video if you want some more information on how to dissect the numbers. Membership payments. So we have 745 unpaid members. When we talked about what Diane mentioned, we need 500 more membership payments. We get half of those. Oh, we're on our way. A couple new clubs. 20 plus members in each of those, we're on our way. Take advantage of the open house incentives. Every club adds on a couple of members to get to distinguish. We're on our way. And not only that, we have one more incentive coming in, not just the open house incentives in April, open house month, district-wide open house month in May. For clubs that get enough members to be distinguished, we're gonna throw them a free pizza party in June. All right, if the club's already distinguished and they add 4 more members, they're gonna get a pizza party in June. All right, we are giving you all the resources you need, all the incentives you need for your clubs to be successful. All right,
Pizza party.
pizza party. Donica's like, that's too good to be true.
Yeah, that's true. Repeating it, people that aren't distinguished now and go to distinguished.
Exactly, if they're not distinguished now, because they're low on members, and they add enough members to be distinguished, that's a pizza party up to $50.
With receipts.
We want receipts, obviously. Not blank check. We have 37 clubs that are already distinguished, and tons of clubs are on like 4 points. I mean, they're almost there. If you're already distinguished and you have 4 more new members, pizza party. Okay? And we've got more than 60, I think about 60 clubs that earn epic incentives. You know, that's something they can use again for a pizza party, all right? Dennis.
4 new members, is that effective today or starting the first?
Effective today. You heard it here first. All right? We're gonna email out later this weekend to let all the club officers know, but we wanted to let you know first, so there's no surprises. All right, last question. George.
What are you doing for clubs that are already president distinguished?
Add 4 more members and you get a pizza party. And let me also say, if you're already a President's Distinguished Club, if you're already an epic club, this is where you have fantastic people who can help other clubs in the district to be successful, to share what you're doing. That's so great, that's so fantastic. All right, this is time to work together to be a community and help all those other clubs out. All right, I need to move on, but we can talk during the break, Donica. That's
It's about
okay.
the epic works, they're not on the website anymore.
Okay, I will find them, I will fix it. All right, thank you all for all the hard work that you're doing to be successful as leaders and to help our members and our clubs be successful. I'm gonna now pass the microphone over to Steph Wolf.
So I have this amazing team of people who are just working so hard to find new clubs and leading new clubs, and I'm just so thankful for them. Steve today is down with allergies, so he couldn't be here, but I did talk to him last night and he gave me a full update. So we have a lot of things going on, and we just don't have that much time because we're going to hear an amazing speech from Michael today. So I just want to give a quick few highlights, and that is Great Week was meeting Thursday. Can Donica and Dave just come up real quick? Just give me 2 minutes. And what's happened the last one?
What we're talking about is the Great Week Resort and Casino in Roanoke Park. Here's what it takes to start a new club, I've discovered. First, you go to their team dining room for 6 hours, setting up a table and having people come. The final 2 hours were from 11:30 to 1:30 in the morning. So that was the first thing. Then take 3 different kickoff meetings to finally get our 20 people, which we just got announced yesterday. The first official meeting is going to be on May 9th, and at that point, either before then or at that point, they will actually charge had this fantastic team of people who've been coming up, many of them from the East Bay have been coming up for these kickoffs again and again and again to make this happen. And we finally have our 20 people. But I'll tell you what really has made it count is that our HR contact there has stood up at every single meeting and said, we are so committed, we so believe in this, and they actually even said, we will keep on having our Toastmaster team come here until we charge. And she said that after every meeting. We're like, how many times? But yeah, so at this point, apart from a signature and money, we're going to have a new club.
And it's a great feeling, and I don't know if you heard it in his voice, it's a very exciting feeling. You saw the excitement of people up here for Oracle. It is such a good feeling to start a new club. And, you know, George with Land Research down in Fremont, and Cherry with the Remax Club, and Donica with the Sonic Communicators. We've had a lot of really new, good, great clubs. Bill's feeling that feeling. Who else wants to feel that feeling? Huh? Yeah? It's a good feeling starting a new club. It's really exciting. And we have another opportunity on May 14th. We have a club that we're going to start right in Division D, Brenda, and that is the African American Chamber of Commerce. So Steve today is organizing that, and we're getting a few volunteers. We don't want to bring too many people because the organizer from the chamber, she's a past Toastmaster, who's so passionate, and she thinks she's going to get like 50 people in the room. So we can't fit too many extras, but just being aware of that. And we have a lot of other hot leads that are going on. Adrian Chauffeur is working on some, and there's a whole list. You can send that out again to anyone who needs that. So lots of stuff.
Lamb Livermore.
Lamb Livermore is moving, and Rochelle over there is passionate. It's very important to get someone very passionate in the business, and that is really what helps, just as Dave was saying. So that's my report, and we have open house month in May. I think you guys have heard that. So there's a form, people can add their information about their club meeting. I think Greg is working on good communications about that. It's going to be incredible. Let's just add some of those 500 member payments so we can be distinguished, right? So that's going to be a good feeling also. And now I'll turn it over to William.
Good morning. Today I will present the profit and loss statement for the month ending February 28, 2019. The year-to-date transactions are for the 8-month period, July 1st through February 28th. February was kind of a slow month for transactions, so this presentation will be brief. I will hit the highlights of the transactions that did occur. Membership revenue, that year-to-date amount of $34,402 exceeds last year by almost 4% when compared to the same 8-month period ending February 28th. Membership revenue is up. Other revenue, we received a $50 donation. Total district revenue is $31.42. On to district expenses. TOI. The last of the TOI expenses were processed in February. Marketing. That 183 is reimbursement to 4 clubs in Oakland for having open houses. Communications and public relations. That is payment for our email service and also our Zoom conference calls. Administration, that expense pays for our DECM room rental and also our storage facility. Travel, this is the remaining expense paid for the trios mid-year training. Other, The 254 is our monthly contribution back to TI. Total district expenses is 5136 with a net deficit of 1994. Bank balances remain strong at 34,866, which is after our reserve requirement is deducted. Other financial news, we will complete the financial statement certification for the third quarter, which ended March 31st. This certification is due by April 30th. Is there any questions? Okay, we'll hand it back over to Diane Joyce.
Thank you, William. Now I'd like to call up Terry McDonald, who will give us a little bit of a primer on proxies, and she is our credentials chair. So let us welcome Terry McDonald.
Good afternoon. Good morning. What time zone are we in? I remember watching a YouTube video of Simon Sinek on always start with why. So I'm going to adopt that and say I'm starting with why this morning. Why are we talking about proxies and credentials, and why is it important to vote? All the members of all the clubs are the most important engines of Toastmasters. The members are the most important, and the officers have a say in what we do in the district. Likewise, they have a say in what we do internationally. So I have to just say that the vice president and the president of each club are entitled to vote at the district meeting and to send their votes or the representative to the international business meeting. Right? We value this. We value what the members have to say. And so that is why we're talking about this today. Think of the district voting in the business meeting as the primer for voting in the international level. What do we vote for? Well, we're voting on the candidates that are running, that will run our district for next year. We'll also vote for realignment, which you're going to hear about in a few minutes, and any new business. So those are the things that we will vote for. Now, who is voting? That's the president, the vice president of education, and or their proxies. Now, what do I mean by proxy? Proxy is their selected representative. All of the members must be in good standing of clubs in good standing. So all the clubs that we have paid dues for this last time, those clubs that are in good standing, those officers are eligible to vote. In order to pass any of our measures, our candidates and realignment, we will have to have a quorum. As of today, the quorum will be 93 for the business meeting. Now, how are the presidents and vice presidents and or their proxies going to vote? Well, we'll do that at the business meeting, number one. But let's talk about proxies for a moment. An email has been sent or will be sent this week to all the vice presidents and vice presidents of education and presidents. In that email, there are directions. For the first time this year, we are doing an electronic proxy as well as the paper proxy. In other words, we've set it up so that if one of the two officers needs to designate another person in their club that's in good standing to come and vote for them, they can fill out the proxy online, and we're accepting an electronic signature. That information will be forwarded to the Credentials Committee. We'll have that on at the business meeting. Otherwise, come to the conference and vote for your candidates and for your choices that you are representing your club, that your club wants to make. If you, presidents and vice presidents of education come to the conference, they do not need to bring a proxy. They just come and they will, after signing in at the conference, they'll come over to the credentials desk. The credentials desk will be open until the business meeting, and then we'll close it at that point, and we'll do our report in the business meeting. So, do I have any questions? Now, that's one of the things. I did the why, what, who, and how. How about questions?
How many votes can area directors and division directors carry?
Okay, thank you for that question. Okay, Diane asked, how many votes can area and division directors carry? Let me go back one step and say, first of all, any voting member can carry up to 2 votes. For example, if the president attends the conference and the vice president of education is not attending, the president can carry 2 votes for their club. That's the maximum. For area directors and division directors, you each also have a vote. So you get 1 vote, and you may carry an additional 2 votes. But for those 2 votes, you must be a member of those clubs that you're carrying those votes for. So you may bring the vote for yourself and the president and vice president of the club you're a member of, if those people are not attending. Or you may bring 1 vote from each of the clubs, 2 of the clubs you belong to, and your own vote. And that's the maximum that is allowed. For a total of 3, for area directors and division directors. Any other questions? Dennis?
Yes, if you're a president of 2 clubs, can you carry 2 votes or 4 votes?
So the question is, if you're a president of 2 clubs, can you carry 2 votes or 4 votes? You may only carry 2 votes. And you may carry 1 vote as president of each club, and then that second vote someone else would have to come and carry it, or the vice president of education will have to come.
The question is about the realignment. And so let's say we're proposing to move a certain club from one area to another area. Does everybody get the same vote, even though most of the people can become really unfamiliar with this club at all?
We're going to talk about realignment next, so I'm not going to address that, answer that question. I'll leave that to George at this moment. Dave?
You had mentioned that people can designate the proxy online. Can you say a little bit more about how that works?
The presidents and vice presidents of education will have. Okay. Since I'm not one of those people, I didn't get that email. They have received an email that has instructions. They can just click on the link that will take them to the site where it's a DocuSign document. They will sign that document and they will fill in the form. That form then will get forwarded back to the Credentials Committee. So we'll have a record of that. On that form, there is a place not only for them to fill out their information, but who they are designating.
And thanks to Greg for that.
Yeah, Greg and I worked with Kevin on it for days.
clubs, people, what is 93?
The number I gave from Form 93 is based on the calculations, based on the bylaws. We have currently 139 clubs in good standing. Each club gets 2 votes, multiply that out, and then you divide it by 1/3, and that's 93. So we must have 93 credentialed people at the business meeting.
Is there a time that the online hot seat will close before we can have conference?
We'll look into that for you. Thank you. Yeah. I'd like to bring up the realignment chair, George Marshall.
Realignment, what in the heck is realignment anyway? Toastmasters tells us that we have to take a look at the clubs per area and the areas per division every year, because clubs come, clubs go. We need to keep it balanced. So I'm just going to do a quick reminder. We talked about this a couple of months ago, but I keep getting questions from some of you. We'll just very quickly go over it. Alignment is the assignment of club areas and area divisions. The ideal, alignment is mostly oriented toward allowing the area directors a reasonable load of things to do and a reasonable distance to travel. We have it fairly easy in District 57. There are districts where the area director gets on a plane to visit all the clubs. So put that graph in a bunch of travels, okay? Area should have 4 or 5 clubs. 3 is the minimum. You're supposed to be working on getting another club. 6 is the absolute maximum. We cannot go into the year with more than 6 clubs in an area. We've got some challenges there. Clubs are assigned to areas based on location. That's the primary, actually. But there's other factors. The ability of the director to serve the clubs. Again, we're talking location, distance between clubs, those kind of things. Secondary things are things like the club size, its strength, expected growth. For example, in the ideal world, every area would have kind of an equal mix of struggling clubs and strong clubs, so every area director has an equal shot. Location kind of trumps that, but still, you look at it. You have to. And did I say location?
Yes.
Yeah, location is the primary thing. So here's a recommendation we come up with. Again, the team was myself, Ed Kahn, and Todd Henry. Many meetings took place for that. Division by division, and I don't know why I've got 4s instead of bullets there, but what the heck. One change, new club Remax is going to be moved from A2 to F32. Why? Because Cherry Chan was the spark plug who created that club. The company chose to put the meeting area out in Danville, so that's now. So this is simply lining it up where it ought to be, and would have been if she had been out there. Division B, JDI is physically moving from Walnut Creek to Berkeley, so we'll make the area track that. Division C, we're going to move, but this is all proposals, by the way. The team here is the one that makes the final determination and files all this at the review. Standard for the Rock Terrace, 9-24. This basically lines up the 2 areas so that each have 4 rather than one having 3 and one having 5. Just kind of lining things up. Division D, no proposed changes. E, when we talked about JDI moving, this is the incoming side. F, closer to other F6. Over time, you originally start out with an area where all the clubs are close, and then due to changes, you wind up with an oddball off to the side. That's an example of this here, where we're just trying to straighten it back up. And F32 again is picking up Remax. Division G, we're going to take another look at Division G. The casino club now about to go, we're kind of maxed out on club clubs per area. I think Ed and I and Todd are going to take a look at that. There may be a new area in the works for that one. Particularly because Ed keeps telling me we're going to keep 3 clubs at the casino. That's not going to be more meetings. Anyway, the idea was to move Airport Business Center, swap along with Sonic going back to 31. So we don't go to 6 clubs. We cannot have more than 6 clubs going into the new year. And we're there. Santa Rosa is pretty maxed out. Again, I think we're probably gonna, either we totally max it out and we have 2 clubs around Santa Rosa, 2 areas with 6 clubs, or we go ahead and put in 1 more area and that gives them each 4. Probably a lot better. Division H, APAPA, again, moved from 34 to 19 just to get closer. Hawkins Tribe, we're swapping 2 because they've gotten kind of off from the rest of their clubs. Again, the idea is try not to make the area director travel too far between clubs. And of course, we got the new club Oracle, and they're going to drop into 19. Division I, no proposed changes. So this is the proposal to date. And we'll take another look at G up there around Santa Rosa and see the fix, but other than that, this would be the committee's recommendation to the team. Any questions about realignment? My goodness. Oh, one more thing. I have sent an email to each and every division director. I've heard from 5, counting myself as well. So I really need to hear from your other 4 to say either yes, that's fine, or no, I propose this alternate way of doing it. We have until about the end of June to make these changes, but once they're made, they cannot be changed in the new year. We're stuck with whatever happens.
Jordan?
Yes, Tyree.
I was just curious, is this going to be posted on the website, or is this a decision that can only be made by DECM members? Or the input?
What we've done in past years, I know you were the realignment chair, Wonder, is the people who know and care the most about it are the division and the area director. So we could, but not anyone else cares besides the people in the room. Yes, Harry.
Just a parlay off that question. Is this proposal going to be sent to the voting members, the presidents, and the vice presidents of education?
Along with whatever else you're going to send to them ahead of time. This should be in the package that goes out to them ahead of time. That's why we're talking about it now, is so that we get consensus here, we'll figure out what changes are needed, and then people will get a chance to see it. Ideally, when this comes up for a vote in the business meeting, it's an up and down and a vote. If you don't give anyone any preparation, sometimes people get a little upset about it. That ever happen to you, Tyree? Yeah.
When does the realignment go into effect? How does that affect, how many votes people have at the business meeting with Sven's question?
The realignment doesn't go into effect until the new year. We have exactly today's alignment until June 30th. And so you guys on the team will eventually file that after the business meeting, where there's hopefully consensus.
George?
Yes.
One other real quick question is, I noticed that one of the criteria that you said was location and the size and proximity. Yeah. Does your committee take into consideration being able to have leadership in these newly formed?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, absolutely not. We have no idea who's going to be there. The job is whoever is the area director should have a reasonably easy job of getting to their slot. Anything else? All right, I think that's it. Back to you.
It's break time. Let's reconvene in 15 so we can hear Michael. I have a lot of flyers and things up here, so please come on up and get the new flyers for open house.
PDF, the challenge is so many so if it's on Google Docs, then we might yeah.
Sorry.
No. So what the catalyst for me is
Yes.
the requisition, the slides, hey, here's the deck. Because I use this as a catalyst.
Okay.
No, I said,
Yeah.
So this went out. But we don't really know who's going to talk yet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So in the context
Not including HR, every seat. Yeah, they have to be around people come back from the second meeting. They came to the third meeting. Yeah. And I can see 65 people came down from the I wrote it personally on Friday and then on
I just take it upon myself.
every single week. It should be it was on their radar. They're going to change on what the benefit is. So you have to keep on. I know
tuition reimbursement.
Yes, that's a big win.
she's actually gotten some better and better. Yeah.
I didn't say that. But I didn't say that.
So let's plan, as early as you can get out on Friday. I have to, I want to be pretty hard on Monday. I don't know if those are we can by like 6 to 6 hours. Yeah, we'll work it out. Drive, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll try to go for it too. I mean, it's on like 5 hours. Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, car, yeah. He came back with a 30. Oh, okay, that's right. Just, it's like so, yeah. I didn't realize that, but yeah. I will. Yeah, he's a good guy. He helped save us. Yeah.
There is an open house now, which is just, it's rebranding it. We have a big open house. Item. On one page. All of the yeah. So Greg and Kevin do it. Like they're amazing. I just say like, hey guys, I want to do this, and they figure it out. Okay. So they haven't sent it to me. It seems like something happened to it.
Yeah, whatever works for him.
Yeah, I would help like by the way, that's how you do it. Yeah, I would have.
It's our third.
And if you're back,
Yeah. You give me time. Yeah. I'll try and remember.
That's for what?
Oh, no, it's not. So this is to, so what do you, I need the current district executive.
I have a list.
You have a list, you must have a list.
One of those? And like 7 or 8, 10.
You might copy Craig.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Cassandra Cockrell too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just seeing people here, whatever divisions have that sign.
Yeah.
That virus going on.
As far as, really want executive committee for voting purposes. I got 49. Based on these people don't have that. So that's why I wanted to make sure that these things
I'll just send you the file that I sent. So,
Ashley had a good question.
I sent you an email.
potential security.
Right, no, Friday night.
You have a new trespasser. With a wheelchair.
Actually, forget about Friday night, it's just gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
I felt like
some variety, just to spice it up. What's important now is what's important. Food or whatever the case is.
I have to do that too.
But since I wasn't there, I was thinking of what I could do. And so I understand that it's 1/3 of the 124. But like I heard of 108 and 109 well, because there was 108 plus 35.
That's why you have to review my report. Yeah, you want to email me? I'll have to email it, because I printed you out an official copy. And I had turned in my records that night, but I remember.
Okay, because I don't think I got anything.
Apparently, Diane thinks it's we should have a date out. I knew that you were going to want it. I just didn't know you were going to ask me 6 months later.
Well, it's because I didn't get the video until like, I don't know, March, and then I got preoccupied.
So,
And I didn't know, I got the audio.
We have video?
Well, you guys have video and then slides. Because I could hear you guys saying, hey, I don't like this. So I couldn't see the poll.
We had video of what was on the
And then the poll, right, which said, did the poll say like number vote? Yeah, I don't have any of that to write. So I'll ask him. I did get the chat thing. So I have the chat. I'm going to get the slides. So I'll ask him right now to get the slides and the video.
so I.
She's a great speaker. You might know how many years. So you didn't get to hear her. And I think put some of these cards in front of me. Right? Thank you. Like Carolyn, she was actually the
You might check with Sean, you might check with
area level, yes.
So they were the sponsors for clubs, they just did this, all the paperwork that's involved. So you might just check with one of them, email one or both of them.
Yeah, if you got four more.
I can send it to you. Well, actually, yeah, they're not, I'll email it.
Think about it.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that just made it all fair.
Yeah, so I would talk to them because, and I think Sean, she was the bride before us, and then Sherry came in. So I would talk to
Yes.
them and I think it would be great to help. And forms, if they're not so well populated, they can take it back. So
Yeah.
you have to be correct.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Period, where it's gonna go and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, that comes later. Yep, yep.
So we're not chartered yet. We might have it done before that. I'm hoping.
Yes, yes, yes. So, what kind of swag would you like?
What kind of swag?
So we have.
I already have one.
Card strip, we have plate, we have a water bottle.
One minute. 1 minute. Please take your seats.
How are you?
So it makes sense for him, but not for
we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you for coming.
Do you have
Looking forward to it.
are you looking for us to be any functionaries?
John offered for you guys to be timers.
Oh, so we're going to be timers? Yes. Okay. We're also available for judges if you need
Have you rather judge?
whatever. It's really whatever. When we get there, wherever you want to place us.
All right.
I haven't done timer in like a fun.
You haven't done it yet?
No.
See, I was trying to do that. I was trying to break out of the mold. Because you get molded into being a judge, right?
I've been a judge.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, I like being judge because, quite honestly, there are a lot of judges.
In Bill's contest, I wanted to be the ballot counter, and I got kicked off and moved into judge. So if you're willing, open to maybe being kicked off and moved into judge,
Wherever you want to
we'll
put
see
it.
how it goes.
Wherever you want to put it.
So right now, that's what we're talking
My
about.
experience of late being in contests, I've been in contests now, and when I see the results, and they're wildly different from what I thought, it makes me wonder if judge training is happening.
That is something I had exactly the same thought about and wanted to bring that up after whatever we do at division. How do we educate for the judges?
I think that's a huge
it's a really hard, and I know when I started leading this contest season, where I was at in my last position with division rep, was learning so much. My initial votes where I was voting at the next contest on down the line, it was totally not going to do. I was so much smarter after doing these other contests. I wish I had that intelligence at the beginning of it on the front side.
Exactly.
Because I had it
First time judge, you're going to flail. If you got it the second time, the first time, you may not do a service to your contestants.
Absolutely.
Okay, the meeting's back in session. I want to introduce past international president, Michael Nicaro.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello again. Great. Well, how are you guys doing? Well, I am excited. I'm an old timer.
Yeah, I know.
And Tyree and I served together. And Tyree was a distinguished governor in Division D. And I was a distinguished governor a long, long time ago. And Randy was Division D distinguished, right? And Ed too. And Ed Collin, Division E. And Brenda, Division D.
Yeah.
So Brenda, you know what that means. You're destined to be international president.
That's right.
Well, it is a pleasure to be with you. And what I want to talk about this morning is finishing strong. And I want to congratulate all of you here because all of you are still here. You started the year with us, and now we're in April, and you're here with us. And all of you here are going to finish with us on June 30th. Right?
Right.
And the question I want to ask today is, are you going to be crawling across the finish line? Are you going to be walking across the finish line? Are you, like Brenda and Dave, going to be sprinting across the finish line? Because that is really the question to ask. As I've reflected on my Toastmasters experience and seen hundreds and even thousands of people work through our educational program, I've always asked the question, what does it do for you? And that's what I want you to think about here today. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Applied to Toastmasters, I turn it around and say, ask not what you can do for Toastmasters, ask what Toastmasters can do for you. And what I mean by that is, what are you going to carry away from this experience? And when you reflect on this group of people that you've been around, where is it going to take you in life? And where are the skills that you learned here from sprinting in this last 10 weeks? What kind of a difference is it going to make for you? If you think about what we do in Toastmasters, we really give you 3 T's, okay? We give you, number 1, a title. Put your hand up if you have a title.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, it's not the title that makes the man. It's the man that makes the title. Woman. Or the woman, Brenda, that makes the title. But I want to emphasize that having a leadership title is the beginning. And I had a good friend of mine who spent 20 years in the corporate world, aspiring to a promotion, and he never got it because he could never show that he had a title someplace of leadership from which to launch and raise himself. Title number 1. Number 2, we give you a team. And that is all of us here. Now, I want you all to say a word with me. Ashley, this is a new word. The word is Yana. Say it. Yana. Danica? Yana. Yana. Yana stands for success in Toastmasters. And Yana is, you are not alone. Yana, you are not alone. Each of us has a teamwork. Now, Napoleon Hill used to call this the Mastermind Alliance. If anyone here has ever read Napoleon Hill's great books, he talks about the people around you that you work with, that you think with. And it is that Mastermind Alliance that can push you up to the top. And the third T that we talk about is the target. And that's where I'm going to spend most of my time here this morning. So you have a title, a team, and a target. Now, what is your target? Sally?
Making sure that you grow through giving back and making sure that the people around you feel that they are growing as well.
Great. Wonderful. Now, Diane, what is your target?
The district,
What about the district?
helping them achieve our goals. Great member experience, trained officers.
Great. And what is our goal?
Distinguished.
Distinguished. I finally heard it. Who said that? Okay, Danica. Great. So our goal is to be distinguished. Can we do it?
Yes.
You can do it. And Kevin did an excellent job of illustrating that it can be done. Now, what are the 3 critical success factors of being distinguished? Education. Membership, distinguished club, and new clubs. Okay. Sustaining old clubs. So however we do it, finishing at the number is, the football team is number 1 49ers. And yes, Kevin, we need to be at 1 49er by June 30th. How many clubs do we have then?
139. 139? Ugh, 139.
So we're at about 139, and we need to be at
149.
49. 149. Now, is that possible?
Yes.
It is possible. It is possible. Membership is often thought of as very difficult to control. How many membership renewals do we need?
550.
About 550, which equates to how many members per club? A little over 3 per club.
Wow, that's it.
That's it. A little over 3 per club. Can we do that?
Yes.
Distinguished clubs. We are actually top of the region, correct, Kevin, for distinguished clubs. So if you begin to boil this down a little bit, you start to think it's about the new clubs and about membership. How many people here have taken advantage of Bet's incentive for an open house? Put your hand up, okay? Everybody, I've done that myself. I actually have 3 clubs I'm involved in. All 3 are taking advantage of Bet's open house. Open house is about the best way to build membership and promote. There's other ways to do it too. Speechcraft, if you want to take a lot of time and energy. Dave talked about the Great Club. If you want to take 8 weeks to, really work hard, you can do that. But I have actually been to open houses where one well-promoted meeting brings in 5 to 7 new members. Okay? So think about that for a second. What's the challenge? What is holding us back? Because it is exciting to be here together with us and hear about Dave and Brenda. But we're all going to go through that door. And we're going to think about the 10 weeks we got left. And we're going to think about what we need to do. And I will share with you that hanging around Toastmaster clubs fall into 4 categories in my mind. The first category are those people, those clubs that do not care. Do you know any clubs like that? Dennis, do you know any clubs like that? You've known some. So there are some clubs that do not care. Those are the minority, basically, in this district. I would say very few that just totally do not care. But if you run across a club that does not care, you just let them go and you put your energy into those clubs that do care. Okay? That's right, Savitha. That's your key. Don't try and beat a dead horse. Okay? You just keep beating it. Second classification of clubs are clubs that do care, but they've lost hope. Do you have any clubs like that? Clubs that do care, but they've lost hope. They've come to meetings too many times and seen the same 5 people come in and out of that door. Okay? They've lost the energy, they've lost the positivity, and they need our hope. The third classification are those clubs that do care, that do have hope, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to re-energize the club, how to build membership, how to become distinguished. And there again, we can help, right? So you've got the clubs that do not care. I'm telling you, don't spend your time. The ones that have lost hope, to give them hope. I'm talking about these clubs. And the fourth category over here are those that not only care, not only have hope, not only have information, but they just need that extra push to have an open house, to hit that distinguished, to do what Kevin just did, to go through the numbers with them and find that one or two things that it takes to be distinguished. Those are the challenges we face with clubs. How do we deal with them? How many of you have handed in your area director club reports? Okay. Everybody, all area directors, good, should have those reports in. Everybody should have them. Now, when I was a boy, I grew up in Illinois, farmland, Illinois. And my father came in one day when I was 9 years old, and he said, "Michael, I bought a plane." And we were middle class, so I was kind of excited. You know, I went to school right away and told all the kids that I have a plane now. What my dad actually had purchased for $7,000 was a Piper 180 Cherokee single engine propeller plane. You know what those are, Ashley? They were popular in the 60s and the 70s. So my dad had one of these things, $7,000, and he told me he was going to take me up in this plane. And I was so excited about that day. Now, my dad had the minimal flight training when he took me up. Yes. In fact, he had less flight training than I had training to ride my bicycle. Okay. And we got out there, and some man in a uniform spun the propeller, got it going, and it was me and my dad in this little tiny two-seater plane. I mean, I had to go outside to change my mind. It was that small. But I remember taking off with this thing with my dad, and we were cruising down, and my dad was very hesitant, you know, he didn't know what he was doing. And we were getting to the end of the runway, and we could see the grass on the other side of the runway, and the plane had not taken off, okay? And my dad was kind of fiddling around, and he was trying to figure, and we were at the absolute end of the runway. I could see the grass. I could see a 3-story house across from the airport. When he finally figured the thruster out, and you know, we went up. And I got up into the air with my dad, and we were flying probably about lower, maybe a couple thousand feet into the air, and it was scary because this thing was, you know, vibrating. And suddenly, a red light went off. A red light went on the front dash and started blinking. Now in Toastmasters, what do you do when you see a red light? Okay. Stop. Okay. But we couldn't stop. Okay. And my dad didn't know, being kind of new, he didn't know what it was. So he called down to, you know, he had the headphone on, and they said, well, Mr. Notaro, there's too much weight on the plane. Okay, now we're up a couple thousand feet. There's too much weight in the plane. So I started looking around at my dad, and I was thinking about myself, and I realized that when you're flying, there's an optimist and a pessimist. And the optimist focuses on the destination. The pessimist has a parachute. Because I didn't know what was going to come from that experience. We continued to fly. My dad said, well, we'll burn off some fuel and the light will turn off eventually, which it did. I started looking at these gadgets on the front, and I said, Dad, you know, what does this do? He said, I don't know. And I said, you know, what does this do? My dad said, I don't know. And one more time, I don't know. And finally, my dad just put my hand down, and he said, son, there's only one indicator gauge I pay attention to, and that's the attitude indicator. And for those of you who know flight, the attitude indicator determines the position of the plane relative to the horizon. And if the attitude is nose up, it's good. And if the attitude is nose down, it's bad. So my dad said, that's all I care about. If the attitude is nose up, I feel good about it. If the attitude is nose down, we got a problem. And it occurred to me that that is so true as we finish our year in Toastmaster in the final 10 weeks. You will face adversities. Each of you are the pilot of your own area, your own division. But keeping that attitude up is what is going to be key in dealing with these clubs. Some of you are still down on the runway trying to pull the thruster up, okay? And I've been there. I remember the first club I chartered with Denise Abero at Lucent Technologies, and the club was everyone was supposed to be there at 12 noon for this fantastic club. At 12 o'clock, there was nobody there. And I was sitting in a conference room just like this. I was waiting for big Tevis Thompson to show up. You remember Tevis Thompson, 6'7". And he didn't show up. 12:05, 12:07. I was getting up from my seat, ready to walk out and say, you know, I can't build clubs. I don't have it. And as I opened the door, whoa, a flood of people came in. The district governor back then was there, and they said, oh, we were just trapped up in the front. We were waiting for you. And where have you been? And the room filled up quickly, and we charted the club really quickly. And so my question for you is, how many of you can build a club before June 30th? And how many of you are committed to do it? Is there anybody here who's willing to challenge themselves, get out of their comfort zone, and just publicly say, I'll build a club by June 30th? Who wouldn't before this today? So I have a gift for you. Who's going to say yes? Oh, Ashley Darkness. Okay. Give him a round of applause. So I gave Ashley my coin. You know what a coin is? Toastmasters coin. Toastmasters coin has on the back of it the 4 core values of Toastmasters International. Eugenia, do you know what they are?
Integrity, excellence, service.
Excellent.
There you go.
Excellent. Give her a round of applause. Service, integrity, respect, and excellence. As you think about the final 10 weeks and keeping that nose up, I encourage you to think about those values, especially the value of integrity. When I was international president, I had a very sad job to do. I had a district that was in Texas that had done, they thought, very, very well. And they were hooting and they were hollering and they thought that they were highly successful. But they had done some unethical things to push members at the last minute. And Toastmasters made the decision yesterday to disqualify the entire district. It was very sad. I felt horrible about it because we're a positive organization. We want to inspire people. But I say that to you just by way of to think about that your integrity is always at stake in the organization. And I personally would rather not be distinguished and do it the right way than become distinguished and do it the wrong way. With that said, we have some work to do. Everybody has a 3x5 card. Hold that up if you have it. I found that as we move into this final, and Ed, pass out cards if anyone needs more cards. As we move into this final 10 weeks, the key is having a specific action plan. Specific things that you are going to do that fit into the 3 core success factors, which we talked about. New clubs, membership, and distinguished club. So I want you to just take a couple minutes to write down at least 3 things that you will do in the next week. That advance either membership, new club, or distinguished club. And I'm going to stay silent for just a couple minutes. Go ahead. you guys doing? Some of you are still writing, which is good. Most of you have stopped writing. Here's what I want you to do at this point. You have your items on your card. I want you to find somebody in this room who can be an accountability partner for you. Okay? And I want you to hook up with that person and share either emails or phone numbers with that person. And my goal is, I want the two of you to check in with each other this week regarding these goals, and every week regarding your goals. So go ahead, find somebody in this room who can be an accountability partner and exchange emails and phone numbers. Go ahead.
Yeah. We just
How are we doing in time?
So your question is done at 11, so we are at 15 minutes.
Okay, good. That's so good. All right. Ooh, yeah. Start clapping. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. So I want to hear about some of your goals, and who'd like to share? Monica, I know you have energy. Stand up and tell me what's on your card.
Also, my goal is to make sure that they're processing their pathways, education boards, accept them on. Helping with our clubs that don't have enough members, to make sure they know about the membership incentives, the open house incentives. Work on the Epic Awards, make sure that they have all that information, and reach out for tuning the club leads.
Give her a round of applause. How about over here? Sir, your goals? Stand up. Ramesh?
Encourage the clubs to conduct open houses. See, some clubs, my clubs have a couple of members to get the distinguished. How that can DCP finds a charter of membership. That's what I'm trying to encourage them. And challenge a couple of clubs to get some educational awards. There are sort of 1 or 2 pathways to get the distinguished. And 4 grade club members to hit district levels, district roles.
How about over here, Stephen? I'm going to work with my vice presidents of education to make sure they are working to complete their DCP goals for the rest of the year. And then I'm also going to talk to them about pathways, because I noticed a lot of people I've talked with their clubs are not using pathways, and I'm trying to work with them and offer help to make sure they understand how to use pathways and get on it. And then the last thing I'm doing is finding my replacement for the director. How about over here with the dynamic Division D, Robin.
I'm going to analyze the dashboard for each club. I'm going to meet with the president or really the VP of education and discuss the plan to execute. Then ask them, how can I help them accomplish it?
All right, give her a round of applause. So you've all got your action plan. You've got an accountability partner that's going to help you get there. I want you to think about a couple ideas to just elevate the energy a little bit. Now, do you remember, James, do you remember those dusty old documents from the beginning of the year? I think we call them like successful club plan, something like that. Do you remember those? Do you remember the area success plan? That old dusty document? Well, it's about time to bring it out now and to start taking a look at that. And look at some of the things that we committed to do. One of the most successful things I have found in the final 10 weeks is to have an area council and a division council. Does everybody know what that is? Yes. You can do it telephonically if you need to, or you can do it in person. But you gather the leaders of all the clubs, and what do you do at an area council? Share problems, solve problems. And you look at that distinguished club plan, exactly what Kevin did for us today, which was wonderful, by the way. He just randomly took places. But you have each club go through their success and have them commit to what are they going to do to be distinguished. Area success councils, very important. They commit to have the goals to be successful. Now, George Marshall brought up, I thought, a very excellent point earlier, and he asked the question, what if the club is already president's distinguished? Here's my response to that. Kevin gave a good response too. But I feel like the clubs, I've studied statistics in Toastmasters for over 30 years. I have found that the clubs that really build the membership that makes the district distinguished are actually the big clubs. This is something people don't realize. We put our attention on small clubs. In this district, about 40%, I think, are 12 and under, are Ashley and I found. And there's another 40% in the teens, and then you've got 20% up at the top. But when you look at the net growth of the district, where does it come from? Big clubs or small clubs? Big clubs. It comes from the big clubs, which means we need to have open houses in big clubs too. And as far as I'm concerned, when they get up towards 40, what do we do to them? Celebrate. We celebrate. Now, Ashley almost killed me when I tried to split a club. You remember that, Ashley? He was not happy with me when we decided not to split it. But when you get up towards 40, people aren't having those speaking opportunities, and you can split. But my point is that everybody should be having open houses, because we all want to enjoy the pizza that comes with it. So I hope this has been helpful for you to think about setting your goals, enjoying the journey, because it's all going to be over in 10 weeks. And when it's over, Steve Ballhofer said something very insightful. Train your successor. We need you. So when June 30 comes, don't just run out the door, never to be seen again. Your team needs you next year. They have questions. They need inspiration. They need encouragement. There are those clubs that are hopeless, and they need hope. There are those clubs that are ignorant of what to do, and they need information. And there are those clubs that need that little push of information to be successful. So I wish all of us, because I'm included, a successful final 10 weeks. Have an area council, have an open house, and have fun. Madam District Governor.
In this district to have Michael in our home turf here.
Yeah.
Love to have him. Next up, we have an extra 5 minutes for our divisions to gather and do their co-op. Beth, do you want to kick that off, please? All right, so you guys have some time to powwow right now? Huddle time. So get together and we're looking for area visits. If you haven't submitted them, what are you planning to? How are we going to communicate the success plan or the open house ideas? Also, like I love how Robin had his one specific idea. So share those ideas amongst your team and work together. Readout. Thanks. Yes.
Which division has Hayward? And where are you?
All right, so I'm starting the timer. Okay. All right, so 7 minutes, guys, 7 minutes.
That's right.
1 minute left to wrap up and we'll do a readout.
Yeah. And we didn't, I mean, we didn't convert. Yes, we converted. Mike, yeah. And that gentleman. Robert. Yeah, what's going on? I just okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what the calendar was. He said he wasn't getting the email. He wanted to sign it.
All right, let's hear from who looks like they're ready to give me a report. Nita is right in front. James is right in front. Oh, Ashley is raising her hand. All right, I'm going to start getting reports. So let's keep it around 30 seconds. So let's clap for Ashley. All right, everyone, please pay attention.
You cannot have excellence without C, and today I have 3 reports from Division C. The first is our contest. We had a stunning BioMarin venue, and my past immediate president swept the contest with international and evaluation. The second C is our club visits. In the whole division, out of our 13 clubs, all we need is 4 visits, and we have the dependable team that will get that done. The final C is our successor. We have 2 area directors in the pipeline, and all we need is 1 more area director.
And you guys are obviously responsive there too, so sounds good. All right, who's next? Brenda?
So in Division D, we are rocking it. Winnie Ma, Division D26, she has all of her area reports in. Robin has 2 of her reports in. She's done all her just about finished all her visits, so that's fantastic. So we have Adrian, who is our D3 director, she is have a kite club. She's worked on it all year, so that's coming to fruition. Cynthia, our Division D director, is working on a leadership club, and there she has 8 members, and they're having an open house. So those new clubs are coming in, hopefully by the end of the year. As I said, the area visits, most of them have been done, and D3 area, she will have all of her visits by May the 6th. So we're chugging right along. Thank you.
What stands for? High performing, that's correct. You got it right. Our area visits. First of all, I want to give a big acknowledgement to Lisa, who's completed the hall for our area visits. Rockstar. Who has one of his reports where he has done all his visits. And several times we hear his reports this weekend. Yeah. That's right. With a round of applause for Ashley. I know he's working on his visits, but he has like going on with his family, so he's knocking out this week. Benny, how's it going with you? You've got several of your visits done, right, in the pipeline? That's right. With a round of applause for Benny. As far as open houses go, we have open houses scheduled for Roche and a Papa coming up. Very good. And last but not least, we had a very successful contest on Wednesday. Very much thanks to Lisa, who was my Rockstar contest chair.
Don't forget, you just started doing the club, so we can celebrate that. All right, let's come over to division. Let's see, how about I walk all the way over here to E with James.
All right, thank you, Beth. Division E is doing extremely well. That's E for extreme. Sound good? So for me, when Michael was doing his speech, I wrote down a couple of things for Division E. One was revisiting one of my favorite places, Grocery Outlet, as far as getting the club started. Another thing that is really something that came out of today's meeting, in realizing that Ed was a District E leader, why hadn't I leveraged Ed in the past for his knowledge, and how even representing everybody as a past district leader or division leader is critical to know who to go to when you need that information and that advice. One other thing about division is we do plan to finish strong. Even telephonically, we will finish strong. And I also had a quick question, but Terry's left already. And my question for Terry would be, what steps are Division 57 taking to ensure that there is no Russian interference in our election process or possible Canadian collusion? That could be a good question that anyways, thank you everyone. And thank you for your contest. I've been to every contest this year, and it's been an amazing contest season. We have the Division E contest on April 27th, next Saturday. And not only is it a great contest to go to, but we are throwing a pizza party at Jupiter afterwards. Everyone's invited. We'll see you at the Division E contest. Thank you.
All right, let's turn over to Division I with Savita.
Good afternoon, everyone. Division I had a great contest, and we're trying to get our club open there. And we are getting a club open at Fremont, and Venkat is finishing his second, the second YLP tomorrow is the grand final, right? So we are going on that route with this division. We need a lot more open houses. We have a good chance of becoming distinguished. Use Beth's idea of open houses. I would like to take this opportunity, since I have the mic, to tell you that I was very, very impressed with what Michael Natal had to tell us. And I have come up with a slogan that I will use as a motivator for my areas and my division, and you're welcome to use it too. And that is DAM YANA, which means distinguished clubs, area visits, membership, and new clubs. And you are not alone, I'm with you.
Good afternoon. So for our division, all along with insurance health, we decided that for the air report, we're gonna split among the three of us to get as many as we can done. We're also looking at succession planning. So when we go to do our visit, we're trying to keep an eye on potential candidates for area directors. Since Tom's gonna be our new division F director in the fall, I'd like him to at least have some kind of stability instead of just rocking up and down. Also, in terms of the DCP point, emphasis to place on those clubs that have 4 DCP points to see if we could knock them over, at least to be select distinguished. Also, clubs that have not enough members, emphasize the base +5. +5, everybody.
Dave's goals are to become select distinguished area, although he doesn't know it yet. Area 25, we have 3 clubs that are just a couple members away and 1 or 2 points away from being distinguished area. That's really exciting. We really are going to be pushing the new member incentives, the open houses, and focusing on epic awards because so many of our clubs are really close. For the club visit report, I visited all the clubs and I just need to finish a couple of them with DCP point information awards. Otherwise, really good. And Dave finished all of them. You should have distinguished area. I believe that Terry is on the line. She may be able to give updates from Northern G10 11.
All right, Terry, just a heads up, I'm gonna come to you after I go to Janice with Division B.
We have a number of clubs that are in line to be distinguished, select distinguished, and even president distinguished. And we need the members. So we're going to follow up with our clubs. I'm going to take a look at the 4 categories. And if the clubs are willing and they just need help getting new members, we're going to offer the open houses. And I'm going to stress to my area directors, don't give up on the clubs just because they need a lot of members. If we motivate the officers and get them to have the positive energy, then they can do it. If you say they can't, they never will. So at least have hope that you can get there, give them that hope. And then also, I'm going to encourage my area directors to get the reports in. As was mentioned earlier, I sent out a letter last night to my area directors. I'm going to follow up again today with additional information that we learned here and get everybody excited. I think I'm also going to inspire my area directors, and we started the year with the dinner at Panera to talk over our goals. If they can come through and we can get our clubs, we'll finish the year with dinner at Panera.
I look for the TV and I can see if Terry is willing and able to give a report. All right, let's go to Jordan with D, a G, A.
A comes first in the alphabet. So the report for the awesome division is, first of all, we had another contest. It went great. Looking forward to our international speed winner doing a great performance at the district contest. On our visits, Steve has got 2 visits left to go, Anna's got 3. Cherry had to work this morning, so I don't have her report. And we spent a little time talking to Sally a few minutes ago on, she lives in Hayward, we're gonna try to find us a club in Hayward, that would be nice, because there's not a club down there. And we're doing roll along and going to try to go out with a great finish at the end of the year.
All right, so I think that concludes. I will turn it back over to our district director, Diane.
All right, wrapping things up for our unfinished and new business, let us welcome Tyree, who is going to talk about the process of new business, and then we will go to Randy, who will introduce nominees for next year. Welcome, Tyree.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There is a form on the website that has the information that you need to put in a motion for new business at the conference. The trio needs to know what new business you want to introduce before the conference. This way we can have an orderly business meeting and that we can actually respond with you with correct information if that's the case. I've been in enough conferences now, and Michael has too, both at the district, we used to have regions, as well as at the international level, and there's nothing more disruptive than to have business brought before the governing body that no one's prepared for. So if you really want answers to your questions and want to know where the district is going, we will have a form. There already is a form on the website that will ask you ask you to state what is the issue, and if you have any proposed answers, that's okay, but who does it need to be directed to? The other thing is this, and I think Terry addressed this, it's really important that we have a quorum before we start the business meeting. If we don't have a quorum by the time we start the business meeting, we will start on time. I have that assurance. But none of the business that we do will be able to be enacted until we have a quorum. I've been in a conference once where a quorum was never established until way late, like past 5 o'clock. We don't want that to occur, okay? So the other thing is really, if you have some business items, please address it to the trio beforehand, but follow the format that's on the website, right? This way we can enjoy the conference for what it's worth, and that is to celebrate ourselves being together, for us adhering to the Toastmasters core values of respect, integrity, service, and excellence. More than anything else at a conference is where we get to display our excellence. I can't tell you the number of people who I know have come to different conferences I've invited as guests who are really impressed with how well we attend to our business. And the business meeting is really a place where we get to excel at that. Jim Colby he's left us now, but his spirit resides in that he gave me plenty of material to be an effective parliamentarian. So I will rule with a velvet glove.
Ellington from the District Leadership Committee, and he's going to introduce people, and let's welcome Randy.
Thank you, Madam District Director, fellow district leaders. Wow, what an exciting time of year for us. We've worked very hard to be here. Each and every one of you started out, didn't know what was in still for you throughout the year, but you've grown. Look at you now. Let's finish strong. It is my pleasure to talk to you about what the District Leadership Committee has nominated. But before I do that, I wanted to acknowledge those members who are present, who are part of our leadership team, which at this point is only 5. 5, please stand up. There were actually 1 member from each of our respective divisions, and they each worked endeavor to identify potential candidates. Your leadership team has worked very hard to come up with nominations, but I want to point out that this year is not over. This year continues to go forward, so let's finish strong. To be a part of the DLC you had to be a member of good standing, you had to be one of each of 9 divisions. Of our committee, we had 4 past district or international leaders, including Jim Coley and Gregory Scott, who were past international directors. We had 1 past governor, Bill Mine, and 6 division directors. This is your leadership committee. Here are the nominees for our divisions. Present, and I will ask each and every one of you who are present to stand, and we'll applaud you when I'm done. From Division B, we have Steve Melvin. I'll ask that you hold your applause until the end, because I only have 2 minutes to finish this. You can stay standing, please, Steve. For Division E, Ramesh Rakeli. For Division F, Hans Thoma. For Division G, Terry Boudreau, who's online. For Division H, Lisa Fairchild. Did I miss any division nominees that are present? Is it? Who? And Division I, A. Maslow. Please acknowledge our division nominees for 2019 through 2020. It is now my pleasure to introduce the club. But before I finish that, let me just point out 2 things. Number 1 is division directors in our district are elected. Area directors in our district are appointed by the incoming director. It's different in other districts, that's ours. So if you've got nominees for area directors, please have them see me so that I can at least get them on record. And I will make sure that the incoming district director will have a copy of it. The following are the club growth director nominees. Ashley Ching, please stand. George Marshall, please stand. And Savita Settler. These are your club directors. This is a critical position within our district leadership. I encourage each and every one of you to get to know the candidates, get to know what they offer our district in terms of growth and in our future. We are very blessed to have such talent in our district. Next, I would like to nominate the program quality director. without further ado, it's. Same thing. Beth has taken on the role as club director this year, and next year she's moving up to program quality director. Please get to know what Beth offers as a candidate. And finally, for district director. The district leadership committee really agonized over the decision to nominate Kevin Mark. But he kept telling us that there was no collusion. A final word. Two things. Number one is, because whether or not you've been nominated by the district leadership committee means that you followed the guidelines. The nomination committee started their work in December. We concluded trying to find nominees and finishing our work in March. If after March you decided all of a sudden you wanted to be involved, you're running from the floor now. Anyone who decides that they want to run for a division director or any other director's position now, please see me. In order for you to run from the floor, we still need to vet you. The DLC still needs to vet you in order for you to run from the floor. Just because you weren't nominated does not keep you from being able to run for a position. And then finally, Terry was right. The membership is the most important person in our national organization. Each and every one of our members, we serve. We are here to serve them. The business meeting is free. It's important. Everyone in our district has a vested interest in being there. Think about what happens when you don't become involved in the elected process of your organization. Everyone has a vested interest in being there and voting. So make sure that all your clubs are represented. The people actually are attending the business meeting rather than the alternative, and that they're there to participate. This is for them, it's for you. I look forward to seeing you. Are there any questions before I move on? All right. Yes, Ashley.
I'd just like to comment that I'm actually a PM5, SR5, as that is a correction.
What we put up there is what we got at the time of our nominations. I'm sure that most of our members have grown in their respective roles. So as I said before, get to know the nominees and get to know what they have to offer. Finally, because I'm running late now, if there are no other questions, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to serve you as part of the District Leadership Committee Chair and the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. That is really a critical position. When we hear about Michael talking about sprinting, we can't sprint if we don't have the full team. So having people in place is huge, and having a number of people stepping up is huge. And I believe that Kevin and Beth are just going to continue and just break all kinds of records. So it should be a wonderful year coming up. We have Foz Manish in the back. He is running the much heralded Train the Trainer event the Saturday after the annual conference. So put that on your calendar. He will have details on that. They're getting the team together. We know the response that we had. That was probably our premier event so far this year that people just loved. And what's nice about it is he's going to be conducting it. People that want to possibly train at one of our TLIs coming up, this would be a great opportunity. I think if you want a refresher, go. If you weren't there last time, please go. Ashley was the primary trainer, and we've never, ever seen him better. It was just spectacular.
Which Ashley?
Ashley Harkness. Ashley Harkness. So with that, I would like to wish everyone a happy holiday weekend. Lisa has a comment?
I have a question. Do you have a date for the TOI in June? We're working on it.
Yes. Kevin?
I think we're looking at June 29th for a TLI North, and we're looking into July for a TLI South. We'll give you more update, but those aren't confirmed yet.
Julie Garrett is working on those, and DEC is doing sort of remodeling their auditorium, and they're working on dates. And we really have hoped to have that date nailed down because we need to. So as soon as Kevin and Ms. Garrett get everything together, Julie will have it. Anything else for the good of the membership today? With that, let us adjourn, drive safely, happy holiday, take care. See you next time.